Are you ready to get in depth with somebody? I got a real interesting character here, Dr. Facet. Come on over. This is Tom Ross.
Hello, David. Tom? Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again. He is just every year we get to see Tom, and absolutely incredibly helpful individual. So he's kind of like a doctor. He doctors up stones. So first of all, how many years you've been fasting, Tom?
I've been fasting probably 30 years.
30 years. Wow, I haven't even been alive that long.
I got started, one of my kids said, I'd like to learn about rocks, Dad, and he just got out of control.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Tom cuts on the V5, he has a VL, and the fantasy machine. So let's go take a look at some of his work.
I cut both traditional flat faceted stones as well as fantasy stones. And for those who don't know the difference, a fantasy machine cuts concave, V-groove, and optical dish facets. The traditional faceting is all done with flat faces or facets on the stones. I've set my case up here to show the difference between fantasy cutting, which are the stones on the right half of the machine, compared to traditional flat faceting on the left side of the machine.
You know, your flat faceting is so fancy. I've been here for a day and a half, and I didn't realize that these were just flat facets because they're such amazing cuts.
Well, I hate to say they're just flat facets because traditional cut flat facet stones are mass produced overseas, and that is the bulk of the gemstone market. What I create, I like to call masterpieces. I want to create stones that are not going to be found anywhere else in the world. And these are my stones cut on the V5 or the VL.
So you can cut on either machine all these flat facets. Now tell us a little bit about, on the right side we have the fantasy. I'm going to ask permission of Tom that I can pick up his $3,350 stone. Can I pick that up and show it to him?
That's an emerald.
And what? It's a lab-grown emerald?
Lab-grown emerald. It has traditional flat facets on the top. Feel free to pick the stone up and turn it over so you can see the concave and V-groove cuts.
Oh yeah, look at that on the back side. That's like so amazing.
So that's what makes a unique stone just a masterpiece of art, is adding the fantasy cut V-groove and concave facets. And they're visible, of course, through the top of the stone, reflected up the sides of the stone to create the fantasy effect. Just a tremendously fun thing, that's fun. But on the right side of the case, all of the stones on the right half of the case are fantasy cut stones cut on the Ultratech Fantasy machine. The fantasy allows you to do strange things by bending the light. That particular stone, David, was my first fantasy stone that I cut at the feet of Dalen Hargrave in Texas. It's a spirographic cut in a Podgaracha sapphire. But my favorite right now is this tanzanite right here. It's a natural tanzanite. It has been heat treated, as most tanzanites are. But this blossom in the bottom of the flower only occurs once on the actual stone. All of the bouquet of flowers is created by reflections in the concave facets around the top of the stone. That's possible with the Ultratech Fantasy machine in combination with either the V5 mast and head or the VL mast and head. And feel free to pick it up.
Isn't this the one that you won the competition, the fantasy competition with?
This is the Fantasy Champion stone. I call that Spirographic Blossom on Dew Mountain. Spirographic Blossom because it has the spirograph pattern cut with a V-groove cutter on the pavilion, and the blossom because it creates the flower effect with the combination of concave and V-groove cuts around the crown and girdle. All done on the Fantasy.
And the Dew is a hats off to Mountain Dew, I assume?
I can't say that.
a popular drink with a lot of caffeine. You know what I find fascinating, I've seen a lot, in Germany and Europe they call this particular art, reverse cutting. It's been around for thousands of years. So, Tom Ross, Dr. Facet, here with David Smith at the 2024 Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. Tune in for more tips and tricks from Ultratech.